Hi everyone! Welcome to another pick a card video on my YouTube channel. My name is Julie Ann Fay and I'm a certified angel card reader and a professional astrologer. On this channel I do pick a card videos and I chat things like astrology, archangels, fae, crystals, and working with energy and manifestation and so many good things. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're finding me from Sage App, welcome. And I'm excited to get into our new moon and Aquarius cycle. So I always do pick a card videos around the time of the new and full moon, and they go out with my email newsletter. So make sure you're subscribed to that at julieannfay.com. And I also have, so in my last pick a card video, I believe I talked about the in bulk specials I have going on. Those are still going on if you're still catching this before February 14th. They're still going on until February 14th. You can check those out on my website and also on my blog, julieannfay.com/blog. And then I've also got two new offerings I'm doing for self-love for Galentine's Day. So really happy to share what these are. So one of them is a self-love reading, which you can purchase right from my Etsy shop. I also am giving a little bit of a discount to my email newsletter subscribers. So if you're on that list, make sure you read closely the text on that reading there so you can learn more about that. And that self-love reading it's equivalent in price to my quickie card reading on my Etsy shop. So it's a really affordable reading, but it's specifically focused on self-love and also healing your heart chakra. And I will be also giving you crystal recommendations with that reading. So check that out on my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description box. And you can also, if you would like, you can email me to set that up instead, julieannfay@gmail.com. I don't think that reading is on my website, so you'll want to look for more information about it on my Etsy shop. I also have been doing a 14 days of self-love affirmations countdown on my Insta and on my blog. So that's been a really beautiful and fun experience to embrace more of the energy of self-love into our lives. And I also have made these self-love affirmation cards into a set of printable affirmation cards so you can access them and work with them on your own time too. So this is a set that I've made up for myself because, of course, anytime I make new medicine, I always have to give that medicine to myself first. So what's cool about this is that I've priced the self-love affirmations really affordably. So you can also buy that from my Etsy shop, and it's literally under 10 bucks. You can buy them and then you can have so much fun listening to your favorite music with crystals and rose quartz candles out, or crystals and rose quartz crystals out. I've been chatting candles a lot with people lately, so I have candles on the brain, and I'm also really tired in this moment. But so you can print them out and then you can just mount them to something that is a little bit of a sturdier back, and then there you go, you've got your own 14 set of self-love affirmations. And I'd love to hear how you guys are using these and you know how you're enjoying them. So if you did decide to buy them, please leave a note in the comments so I can hear about your experience, or you're welcome to just even message me on Insta or whatever you would like. But I will actually be pulling an affirmation card with this pick a card reading for you guys, just so we can add a little bit of extra self-love and Galentine's Day vibes into this reading. So before I go over the decks that I'm going to use, I just want to chat kind of briefly about what this new moon cycle is about. So remember that with the new and full moons, it's always a 2-week cycle that gets initiated. So I think I said this on the last pick a card, but some people think like, oh, it's the new moon or whatever, and it's just that one day. No, what it is actually initiating a new cycle that occurs in a 2-week window that gets integrated. So we are now finalizing the integration of what the full moon in Leo was about approximately 2 weeks ago, and the new moon in Aquarius, which is in the last, kind of like towards the end of Aquarius, so it's even affecting also early degree Pisceans. This is initiating now a new 2-week cycle. So you want to look in your astrology chart at where is Aquarius. I mean, you should definitely be looking already because Saturn and Jupiter are in Aquarius now, and there's been a lot of shift into Aquarius. I do have articles on that on my blog. I need to get a little bit of coconut water. I have articles on that on my blog if you want to read more about it. The winter solstice blog post I wrote is a really good read on that. And I also have another one that's called The Power of Friendship in Aquarian Times. That's another one really great to learn about this Aquarian energy that we're under. And yeah, it's been a little wild and crazy, not gonna lie, because this new moon is also coupled with a Mercury retrograde that we're in. And I know for me, I've been going through my own experiences with different things. And then it's so crazy because I'll start talking to a friend and they're going through something really similar. So it's really, really crazy. But there is this really, really strong energy right now around friendship and finding new friends, as well as embracing friends that, you know, really do love and support you. I know that recently I've gotten even closer with some of my friends, and that's been really cool. And I've been making new connections and making new friends, networking. So this is a wonderful time to be doing that. And New Moon in Aquarius is all about new beginnings with friendship, communities, groups, networking, all of that good stuff. So this is a wonderful time to do that. But because it's a Mercury retrograde also in Aquarius, and there's other planets involved, like, you know, Jupiter is, I don't actually know the degrees, but it's in my Mercury retrograde blog post if you want to read about it, because I don't have the degrees memorized off the top of my head. But there are other planets that are involved in this story, like Jupiter, and then Saturn in wider orb, and then of course squares over to Uranus and Taurus. So there's a lot more going on than just the Mercury retrograde, and this can cause a lot of crazy making with communications, and Mercury retrograde does that to begin with. I know for me, there's been a lot of stuff going on with social media, and not even just one platform. It's actually been occurring across multiple platforms with different people. So it's been really weird and really wild. And what I can say is that try and be patient and roll with the energy as best you can. And just remember that even if you're feeling like this is crazy, that you're not going to get through this, or that you don't know what's going on, you have to remind yourself that Mercury retrogrades are one of the fastest transits we go through. The moon is obviously the quickest transit, right? Because the moon transit lasts 2 to 3 days. But Mercury retrogrades last about 3 weeks, okay? So we're right pretty much in the middle of it right now, because I'm recording this for you on February 10th. And the new moon is on the 11th, and Mercury will go direct on the 20th. So we're literally like in the middle, pretty much the middle of this Merc retro. So it's kind of that point of like, you know, I think at the beginning we're all very innocent, and then as more and more time goes on in the retro, we get increasingly more frustrated with it, right? Because it's one thing to be hit with like reschedulings or delays or like miscommunications like one day, but then when it's occurring consistently over and over, like another example is just even this can be occurring with yourself. So I know that there was something that I had planned to buy, and it was just like unreal how this kept getting delayed, and it wasn't because of the other person, it was me needing more questions or more clarity or not being able to decide, and it was dragging on for like days and days. I finally clinched it today, but that's another example of just these delays don't always have to involve other people. They can also be internal delays as well. You might be feeling indecisive about something, or feel like you don't have the right information to maybe proceed with something right now. So just be patient with the process, because if you're going through that, there's a pretty good chance other people are going through that too. So it might be of benefit to just, you know, slow down, see if you can kind of do a guided meditation, and then return back to the task. And what else do I want to say there? That's pretty much what I want to say for this new moon in Aquarius. I did write a whole blog post on this Mercury retrograde, so check that out. It's at juliannefey.com/blog, and you can look for the Jude Law GIF. And make sure you're following me on socials. I've been taking quotables from my blog posts, and I've been putting those on my Instagram, so you can be kind of reminded of some of my content there just by following me on Instagram and Facebook. So without further ado, let me take a sip of coconut water. Let's take a look at the decks that we're using with this pick a card. Now, I may not use all of these decks in your reading, but I always like to share the decks and the authors, you know, because I always like to give credit where it's due. So like I said, we may not have all of the cards represented in your particular pile, but roughly these will be the decks I'm using. So we have the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. We have, of course, my own self-love affirmation cards, which are available on my Etsy shop. I was feeling this, I may or may not pull some cards from this, but the Ascended Masters Oracle deck, this is an OG deck by DV. And if you know what that means, then you have been kind of working with angel cards as long as I have. Interesting story. So this deck was actually one of the, I don't know if it was, I think it was the second Oracle card deck that I bought. And I bought this at a bookshop in Portland, Oregon. And it was really funny because, you know, over time, this has become one of Doreen's more controversial decks that she later rejected. But it's interesting because this is a really powerful deck, and connecting with this deck when I did started to introduce me to the work of the Ascended Masters. Like, there's many of them, right? So we'll see. I may pull some cards from that. Goddess guidance cards, because there's been a lot about kind of the power of the divine feminine and friendship lately going on with me personally. And then Angels of Abundance, and then the Starseed Oracle, which is one of my real go-to decks for kind of like outside the box energy, and especially Aquarian energy, and just looking for something that respects you as not conforming to the norm. Let's put it that way. Okay. So with that, I'm going to queue up the piles off camera, and I will be right back. All right, so let's go over the 3 piles, and you can pick which pile that you're drawn to. So if you're new to this, I always recommend that you take some time to center yourself, take some deep breaths, and help yourself just get to a really kind of grounded and neutral place where you're not feeling overly attached or overly needy to a specific outcome. Sometimes if I watch pick a cards when I'm feeling very like anxious and like grasping for answers, I won't always get a clear result. But if I let go of the video and I come back to it when I feel a little bit calmer, it always works. So let this be like a compliment to kind of your higher self, not like the source of all of the answers of all of the things. That's a good way to look at this, okay? So this is the energy of pile 1. And by the way, all the decks are going to look the same from the back, but energetically they're going to have a different frequency. So you just want to tune into the frequency and what does that feel like for you, and is this the right pile for you, okay? So this is pile number 1. Pile number 2, I always try to not look at the deck. I like to look at it and be surprised at the same time you guys are, but sometimes a couple of cards do peek through. This is pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2. And then pile number 3. All right, and I will do my best to try to hold these up for you all together. Okay, so we've got pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So you're also welcome to, got a straggler there. You're also welcome to pause this video if you'd like to tune into the right pile this way as well. Another way to go about it is also to just use the timestamps. You can also just look at the timestamps and see which timestamp you're drawn to, but 1, 2, and 3, okay? All right, so without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. Let's take a look at the cards for pile 1. So pile 1 peeps, these are the cards for you. And I'm just gonna take a second to lay them out here and get acclimated to what we've got. So from the self-love affirmation cards we have, I welcome and accept with ease loving partnerships into my life. And you do also have Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. And then you do have Hilarion, health and healing. So I think that you guys might be going through some type of healing as it relates to a love relationship, or possibly even another type of partnership, like a friendship, or even something related to, you know, this could even be something work related or related to a coworker. But with Mary Magdalene here and unconditional love, this does carry a very strong energy about the divine feminine. And it's interesting too, because a couple cards I did notice, we have a couple Ascended Master cards relating to Jesus, and some of the other piles that kind of flipped over. So it's interesting that we have kind of the archetypes of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, who were divine counterparts of each other in the divine feminine and divine masculine. They were actually spiritual teachers together. So I think that you have been doing a lot of heart chakra healing. This could also be even if you're resonating more with like healing of your physical body. So this could be also about that. You might be healing actual physical wounds on your body or something there as well. And even this partnerships could even take on a bent about even the right medical practitioners to support you with that experience. I think that's a message for someone that's listening to this. The right medical practitioners, the right people to support you, because partnerships could have many different forms, right? But there is definitely this energy of heart healing going on here, and healing and moving into really the tremendous power of your divine feminine to, you know, to stand in your power and also be in this loving frequency, but in a way where you don't allow yourself to stop kind of doing your purpose or your work. Because, you know, a huge part of Mary Magdalene's story is that she was obviously, well, there's a lot of spiritual books you can read on this. I highly recommend the works by Trisha McCannon to learn more about this. But, you know, Mary Magdalene was a spiritual teacher who worked alongside Jesus. And over time, she was sort of pigeonholed into being a particular thing, and she was also shunned. You know, she was literally forced out of her homeland and forced to relocate to France and continue her mystery schools there. So she really represents this archetype of fierce femininity, but not in a way like, you know, Kali or Isis would from the other Ascended Masters and pantheons. She's definitely in that same vein of that fierce feminine, but she's going about it in a different way, where she knows that no matter kind of what is thrown at her, she will figure out a way to navigate around it and to find her path, her soul's path and her soul's purpose with love. She's very like determined to say like, I will figure it out, you know. So for those of you that are kind of worried or wondering how things are going to work with any of these topics, with relationships, with something maybe relating to your physical body, or this could also be work and career related even too, this is just this assurance that this heart healing that you're doing is actually supporting you in all life areas. And you can call on Mary Magdalene for support in this frequency of leading from the heart and using your heart as kind of a tool to help navigate you to who's right for you, where you want to go, what you want to align with, you know. And it's interesting because this is very reinforced with the other cards, because you have Star Family, you're part of a team of souls, call in support. So this is just really saying that, yeah, you know, star beings and Ascended Masters and guardian angels and guides. Before starting this pick a card video, you know, I set up a sacred container. So I asked myself to be a channel of messages of love, truth, healing, and peace that I need to hear them, and as well as people that watch my videos. So, and I call in my guardian angels, and I call in the guardian angels of people watching. So this is to say, like, you definitely have people on the other side. You have guardian angels, you have Ascended Masters, not you personally, but there are, you know, collectives of Ascended Masters that you can call on for support. So the support is out there. And this might also be even support in the physical form, because we do have I welcome and accept with ease loving partnerships into my life, right? So it's like you're calling in these right people, this right tribe, these right partnerships that support you for what feels good to you in your heart and what aligns with your path. And, you know, it might be that part of your path does have to involve some level of health and healing. Maybe you're very passionate about, you know, plant-based eating, or the spiritual arts. You know, I'm raising my hand, and these are things that are really important to you. So when you look for partnerships or you look for people that you're going to work with or work for, you're looking for ways that you're in alignment with your heart and your heart mission, you know. What else do you want to talk about? So from Angels of Abundance, you have gratitude list. And then you do also have here Page of Pentacles. And you have the Devil card here. Okay, so this tells me that the Devil card is simply just meaning attachments. It's attachments, emotional attachments. Oftentimes people, you could see here that he's kind of got this man who's like a puppet on strings, and he's sort of controlling that. So this card is often signifying some type of power play situation or some type of controlling situation. It's really not great energy to have, but this can also occur in and of yourself. I'm actually going to just look at this one just for now. This can also occur in and of yourself, right? So there might be, this can also be a card that's related to addictions, things that you're addicted to, things that you stick yourself to that you know you shouldn't eat or consume or do. This is a card that's about just like unhealthy attachments in all regards. And it could be that you are healing your heart from some type of unhealthy attachment here too, you know, with this card kind of resurfacing. But it's interesting because we do have this Page of Pentacles and this gratitude list. So I think that your, you know, Page of Pentacles is a really happy card. It's about kind of like enthusiasm for new opportunities, new ways to kind of support yourself. And well, that's interesting. I don't know if that's from that, because I have a candle lit here and I saw, yeah, that's interesting. I have this candle lit and I saw the flame reflected in the card. So I'm taking that as a sign to just be like, you're kind of getting your spark back when it comes to being curious and open-minded and being willing to communicate. Pages is also about a lot with communication. So this is communicating with people about opportunities. This is also just being curious and enthusiastic to learn and to do new things. Pentacles is very earth-based energy. So this is like being willing to like talk about things that you could start to do to potentially bring in more support into your life. And with this gratitude list, I think that you're feeling really grateful for the communications that are going on. You know, you're feeling really good about what you have kind of cooking, if you will. And if you're not really feeling good, this is a nudge for you to take some time and reflect on what's good about this situation. So, you know, sometimes we're really focused on like, okay, this sucks. I don't like that this is happening. But there's always a duality to every situation, even if the duality is simply that, wow, I didn't realize that was the case. And now I realize that, right? So this is just to say that you guys are really, the people that pick this pile are really shifting their frequency into more of this grateful, heart-centered energy, more of this enthusiastic, willing to be curious, willing to kind of, this is a little bit like the Fool card energy, but it's more specific to communication and messages around exchanging things around pentacles, so material assets, wealth, and income, things like that. So I think you guys are starting to feel really good that you're on the right track with this because it's feeling good, you're feeling grateful about it, and you're looking at the right partnerships to align with you with the things that you want to do, and that's feeling really good, you know. And I think this healing that you're kind of, that's still maybe lingering a bit from these potentially toxic things, you know, in the past, you can definitely call on the Ascended Masters Hilarion and Mary Magdalene for support with this heart healing, and also call on your soul tribe, you know, so calling your guardian angels, calling your guides to help you. And sometimes, okay, so angels help me channel this the best way possible. So, you know, I'm just getting the sense that sometimes our healing can only go, and I don't want this to sound disempowering because it's actually extremely empowering, but sometimes our healing can only go so far by ourselves, right? Like no man or woman is an island, right? We do need each other. And I find even being a healer myself, I need healing too. You know, I benefit from other card readings by other readers. I myself watch pick-a-cards, you know. I also follow other astrologers, even though I'm an astrologer. So we all learn from each other, and we need to invite in sometimes other people that have maybe other medicine or other energetic frequencies to offer, right? So just recently I was talking to someone about this healing course that I went through, which is really epic and really, really transformational for me. And it's something that really brought me to a new frequency with things in my life that I wasn't at before I took the course. And I really don't know, maybe I would have gotten there, but much more slowly over time. That course kind of really accelerated my timeline with that. And because of that spiritual teacher and their willingness to put in energy to creating that course and having the space and the team to conduct that course, the people that were in the course alongside me, and all of that went along with it, all of that contributed to so much healing for me, right? So it's a good example of why we need other people to help us, and we need to not expect ourselves to sort of only be able to, we need to be able to ask for help, and we need to be able to invite in people that can help us to heal. And sometimes that, that involves being open-minded, right, to partnerships that could come in, because you have this, I welcome and accept loving partnerships with ease. So I think right now there might even be situations, people, or things that could actually help you even more with this heart healing. So just be kind of curious and open-minded, especially at that Page of Pentacles. It's like communication, news. Be curious and open-minded about what could help you and heal you with these things right now, So I'm sending you love, pile one peeps. Please leave a comment below. It helps out my channel so, so much. When you come here and you watch and you like my video and you subscribe, I love that. I love, love, love people though that leave comments, because then I get to directly see which pile you picked and how it was for you. And I just love seeing who's come by, and makes me so happy. So please leave a comment and let me know if this was your pile and how it was for you, and say hello. And feel free to share this video with friends that you think would vibe. Okay, pile two peeps, let's get into your reading. These are the cards for you. And I want to say that for some reason, I know this is so random, but maybe this will be applicable to someone. I just noticed this like really obnoxious knot in my ponytail that I was not realizing before. So I'm wondering if you yourself in your life right now are feeling like you're trying to smooth out some knots in your energy field, or just things that feel a little bit too entangled, or just like not kind of smooth and free flowing, So let's see what we've got for you in the cards. So let me just take a quick second. So yeah, I'm getting a little bit of a, it makes sense how we've got the naughty thing. Not naughty, but naughty. There's a little bit of like a rushing energy to this pile. And it's something here about you feeling like you're trying to push forward with something. This could be a particular relationship, a particular partnership with someone. You're feeling like you want to push forward with this, but either you're a little bit fragmented in your approach to it because you have blockout distractions. So you might be getting very distracted by other things, when it would be actually better if you could really just like clean up your schedule a little bit perhaps, and just really dial in, really focus on this one thing, But I do get the sense that there's also a little bit of a teeny tiny bit, if I may say so, some resistance here, because we have change is easy and effortless for me from the affirmation deck. It's funny, I did not design this affirmation deck as an oracle deck, but in the context of these readings, they're actually functioning like oracle cards. It's pretty cool. So we have change is easy and effortless for me. So that might be a really helpful affirmation for you to work with. Change is easy and effortless for me. And we do have unag. I think that's how you pronounce it. Easy does it. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. So this is to say that relax. It's going to be okay. things are going to flow as they're meant to flow, and they're going to work out as they're right to be. We do have Ace of Cups, and we have the World in reverse. So this is like, you know, coming full circle, literally coming full circle with a relationship. Because this is in reverse, this might be something that's related to like your karmic past or something from the past. This could also, so that's, I feel like that's the majority of you, is you're coming full circle from some type of relationship you had with yourself or another, and you're ready to move on this new path, because Ace of Cups is a new beginning, a new emotional beginning. You're ready to now, so it really should be like this, kind of past and present, but you're ready to kind of move forward into this new direction. I think for a small percentage of you, with this reverse the world and change is easy and effortless for me, it's also a little bit of like, there might still be a little bit of fear or resistance here about closing out this old cycle, but you're really being reassured that it's safe for you to do that, and that it's safe for you to be relaxed about this situation moving into a new direction now, and unfolding yourself from that old cycle. Because we have open your heart to love, which is Jesus from the Ascended Masters deck. And it's interesting because if you are also drawn to pile 1, we have Mary Magdalene come up in that deck, and they are the divine feminine, divine masculine counterparts to one another. So this is about you tapping into your, for you guys in this pile, tapping into your divine masculine strength and looking at being, you know, assertive and loving, which seem like contradictory things, but they're not, you know, and just being sometimes assertive with yourself, right? So there might be like a temptation here to kind of slack on, you know, moving into this new direction, or just like procrastinate or dwell a bit in fears, or like, oh, I'm starting to approach that. No, I don't want to do that. There might be a little bit of like fear or trepidation here of like, can I actually finally move forward with this? And it's yes, because you have, you know, open your heart to love. It's safe for you to have an open heart about this situation. Change is easy and effortless for me. Just affirming and soothing yourself that it's going to be okay. And that's probably why you have easy does it. So you might need to put in a little bit of extra self-care right now, because with this block out distractions, this could be, and that's kind of what I was getting as well, is this like a little bit of erratic and frantic energy. I know with myself, when I don't start my day doing some exercise and some spiritual routines, which to be honest, I have been starting my days a lot without doing that, and it's really not good. It does require self-discipline, and it does require training myself to do this and not that. But I find that when I do that, even if I have to stop midday and do that, the energy and what flows and follows after I do that is so much more soothed and easygoing, because I took that time to kind of center myself and reset my energetic frequency. Whereas if I just roll from like one thing into the next without taking that time for some self-care and that self-love, it does tend to create situations that they're not bad, but it just, they're a little bit more frantic and not as smooth energetically. I'm extremely clairsentient, so that's the best way to explain it. They're not kind of smoothed over in the way they could be. And especially for the fact that we're in a Mercury retrograde, the energy is already frantic, and all this Aquarian energy is ruled by Uranus, so it's very electric. So there's a lot of like electrical energy going on, which can be very hectic and very frantic, you know? So there could be distractions going on. There could be things that are pulling at your attention. And in some ways, some of those distractions might be things you could do something about, and maybe some of them you can't do something about. So, you know, you're going to have to be the one that has to discipline yourself to like unplug from that social media platform, or not open your email right away. You know, a really helpful practice, and I think I wrote about this in one of my blog posts. I think it's the one that's how to wear your crown of self-respect. A question that I'll ask myself, and I've been a little bit more frantic lately, so I haven't been as good with this, but, you know, a question is, before I open that email account, or, you know, I also have an Etsy shop now, so I get messages there too. And then of course I have social media. So there's lots of different ways, channels and platforms that I'm in. I will try to pause and ask myself, can I handle this right now? and let my higher self speak. And most of the time I get an answer that's like, yes, but you don't have to respond to the emails. In other words, I can read them, but I can read them so I'm aware, but I can come back to them maybe an hour later after I've done some positive self-care things, and then I can respond to them, right? A lot of times that's the message I get, but sometimes I do get a straight up no. And when that happens, I have to stop and listen to myself and be like, it's just not the right time. You can come back to this a short bit later, you know? So there is this energy here of you needing to kind of soothe your energy a bit and try to focus on manifesting and flowing in a little bit of a smoother way here. And we do have forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. So yeah, I feel like this is really aligning with what I'm talking about, you know, that it's up to you to kind of self-discipline, and it's up to you to stop yourself in certain situations, right? And to ask yourself, like, can I handle this right now? Is this the right time for me to reply to this? Is the right time for me to do this right now? And sometimes this can also be a little bit of like this energy of mothering yourself, you know? And a lot of times we expect other people to mother us, or father us, but we sometimes have to embrace the energy of mothering ourselves, understanding like, okay, like today, for example, I did not get enough sleep, and earlier today I was really like a cranky, angry mess, to be honest. And I had to really mother myself and say, okay, you're cranky, you're tired because you didn't get enough sleep, but tomorrow will be a new day, and you know you have certain things to do today, but we are doing them, and that's that. And so this is me, you know, paving that path, being that leader for myself, you know, and just giving myself that kind of pat on the back and that motherly energy. And if you need an extra boost with that, you can also call on Mother Mary, who's a wonderful kind of surrogate mother to us all when you're needing that energy. I'm going to pull an extra card for you guys. Let's do from Ascended Masters here, because I feel like something is missing here. We need a little bit more. Okay, retreat into nature, green man. So this is like a nudge to say, get outside more. If it's difficult to get outside where you are, I know it is by me, very difficult to get outside because we've had so much snow. Oh, and it's interesting. So I just cut the deck and I got Go Now, Serapis Bay. Okay, so yeah, you guys do need to get outside more. You need to just, even if it's hard to do, even if you could just do a little bit when you wake up and a little bit before you go to bed, that would be, I think, really transformative, really helpful for you. I'm also really drawn to the two fairies holding the heart. So this could be also about just like having some fun in nature, getting back into this spirit of playfulness with nature, you know, inviting in the energy of the trees and just what nature is offering and teaching you right now, wherever you are, and kind of what nature is like by you. I know for me, we've had so much snow, and it has definitely been a challenge, not gonna lie. It presents its own form of challenges, especially when it comes in excess, like we've had. But today, when I was out with my fur baby, you know, I was able to kind of go around and I could recognize, like, I heard the birds singing and chirping, and that was lovely because, of course, we've just had Imbolc right at the beginning of February, which is midwinter. So we're now tracking towards spring, and the animals will start to show you that, you know, in their behavior, that spring is coming. So I think when we go outside, it also reminds us and teaches us about cycles and about surrender, which I think are two kind of themes for you right now that you need to be more reminded of, about just kind of trying to just ease into the flow of what this cycle is about for you. And, you know, it might even be also just surrendering to what this Mercury retrograde is trying to teach you as well. So that's what I have for you, pile 2. I really love that reading for you guys. And please like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below if this was the pile you picked, and let me know how it was for you. That's my most favorite thing, is when people comment and they share something about their experience with, you know, how it helped them or how they related to it. I just love, love, love that. Make sure that you're also subscribed to my email newsletter, because that's when you get the first alerts about my pick a card videos when they go out, and the latest on my blog posts and specials and all that good stuff. So have a good new moon cycle, pile 2 peeps. Okay, pile 3 peeps. These are the cards for you. Let's get into it. We had some really good readings for piles 1 and 2 with some similar elements, although a little bit different. So let's see what we've got coming up for you guys here. Well, I gotta say, there's been a definite theme throughout all 3 piles around the energy of love and how it relates to past relationships and or self-love. That's been a major theme through all 3 piles here. And it's been really cool to see as well how my affirmation cards have been functioning like oracle cards in these piles. I did not expect that, so that's been really cool. This is the first time I'm working with these affirmation cards in my pick a card videos. So for you guys, there is definitely this energy of healing from heartbreak and healing from a situation that might have filled you with a deep sense of lack, okay? Because I don't even know where to begin, because we've got a bunch here. But we have 3 of Swords in reverse, okay? So this is definitely indicating just frustration, heartbreak, sorrow, angst. Because it's in reverse, this can mean one of 2 things. It can mean absolutely it's in the past, and or this could mean that you feel very blocked or stuck in this energy, you know? With I commit to change and sever vows of poverty. So I commit to change from my self-love affirmation cards, and then sever vows of poverty here. I think that, you know, there might be parts of this situation that you're holding on to because you believe with infinite supply here, you are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. Whenever this card comes up, whenever I pull this card, it's always a card about believing that there's not more on the other side. It's this belief that like, oh, well, this is the job, this is the person, this is the whatever, right? And if I don't get this, then all is lost. This is the card to say that there's really like infinite people that could match with you. There's infinite situations that could align with you. There's always an infinite supply in the universe to match you to what you're desiring and wanting, as long as your energy is clear and willing to accept it, okay? So I think that there's part of you that is afraid of letting go of this person, or just feels a sense of lack or potentially even deep sadness or sorrow about cutting this person out of your life, you know? And this is saying here that you are supplied for your needs. I commit to change is the affirmation. So allowing yourself to commit to this change, to committing to this new path forward, because you're supplied for the right people, places, and things to align with you that are really good for you. And it could just be that this particular person, place, or thing is really no longer part of that infinite supply equation. You know, they don't provide that nurturing or that energetic supply of support and love that you're looking for, whether it's a job or a person or whatever this is. I'm hearing also for someone, this could even be relating to a house or a living situation, which is kind of weird, but there's something there about just like the living situation doesn't fuel you or support you. So you need to do some cord cutting around leaving that place, that situation, so you can move on to somewhere that's better supported for you. And we do have Follow Your Heart, St. Francis, who is really strongly linked to animals. So you might be looking for, you know, ways to open your heart back up after this situation that's been really heartbreaking and really intense. And definitely animals, pets do provide that. You know, my fur baby Monty, I can't even tell you how much he supports me and I support him, and just the purpose that I have every day waking up to be able to take care of him and to, you know, just do all the things I do for him brings me so much joy. And I have my moments with him, like today when he stole this jar of peanut butter and like ate way too much of it. But you know, he just breaks my heart like wide open to love in a huge, huge way. So whatever that is for you, if that's pets and animals, if that's getting into nature, if that's children, whatever that is for you, really continue to make sure that you do devote time and energy to that, because this is just an acknowledgement that working with those pets, those children, whatever, does bring you that sense of peace and joy. And I'm actually really drawn to the little, oh, it's actually it's like a bluebird or a blue jay. It looks like a blue jay actually, which is really interesting because that is one of my signs with my dad. Whew. So this could also be a message too, that there are crossed over loved ones that are supporting you and they're guiding you, and they're also providing that nourishing heart energy from the other side, and you can tap into that as well. And don't forget about them. You know, it makes me emotional because anytime my dad comes through when I'm channeling these readings, it always takes me by surprise. So yeah, and I was actually just looking at his picture before I started doing this reading. So we have here, it's clear that you've definitely been hurt by someone or something, because we have the card of I'm sorry, and we can see the two souls here, you know, and it says defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. What's so interesting about this card is you can see there's two different pictures going on. So there's the two people on the surface, but then look what's happening under the surface. So it's like, this is what we see, the conscious part of it, right? The two souls that are kind of like at odds with each other or trying to figure the situation out. But look how deep these cords go. This is like going back through past lives, and this is like heavily deep karmic energy here, you know? So part of this message too is whenever I see this card, it's always a reminder that if you're beating yourself up that you have these emotions or these feelings about this situation still, or that there's something there, it's okay, because it's going back many, many lifetimes, and it's strongly linked to, you know, karmic ties and just a lot of energy here. So you're doing a lot of, you know, cord cutting and karma clearing to this energy with this card coming up here. And then with King of Swords here in reverse, so the King of Swords, this could definitely be an air man. So that would be a Libra man, Gemini, or Aquarius man, okay? So this could be a situation relating to a man that either is that sign or has strong energy in those signs. And, you know, the King of Swords is, he's an energy that's like about, if we take communication and the divine masculine and we put them together, that's this man. So he's really here to bring clarity and kind of decisiveness of thought, although Libra man is a little bit an exception to that because Libra is Venus ruled, and that can be a little bit indecisive. But and Gemini too, to an extent, but Gemini is more so just like curious. So they're not actually indecisive as much as they are just hopping from different information pots. But the interesting thing about this card is that if you're looking for a romantic partner, okay, this is not always the best card in the deck for a romantic partner. We would look at more so energy relating to like the King of Cups, or even, you know, even like the Knight of Cups in a certain way as well. Because let me see if I have those cards to show you guys. Because the thing is here, and this is coming up in reverse, so this could also be just like harsh words were said, whether this person sent them to you or vice versa or something there. There's a strong like cutting energy to the words with this card here. So that's not really the energy of love, right, that we're looking for when we're looking for a relationship. Let me see if I have the Cups cards here. Well, we have King of Cups here. Okay, and then I'm looking for him. Give me a second. Okay, I missed him somehow. So I found the Page of Cups. Okay, not really one of my most favorite cards, to be honest. There's certain cards that I really, oh, here he is, Knight of Cups. There's certain cards that I struggle with. Okay, so with Knight of Cups here, the way it's depicted in this deck, it's very romantic, and the Knight of Cups, to be honest, is more immature than the King of Cups. He's often coming in to kind of provide this love in maybe more quickly or more temporarily. You know, Page of Cups is being more so imaginative and dreamy. It can definitely be like romantic messages and romantic information, but it doesn't have to be like an actual person like these guys are. But it's interesting too that I passed over him quickly when I was going through the deck. I found the King of Cups first and then I found him. So I think that you guys are the people that picked this pile. You're trying to figure out who's my right match, and you're doing a little bit of searching. And I think that because of how deeply hurt you were by this previous person, you know, I don't think that you're going to necessarily settle into something new or with someone new very quickly, because you're still committing to this change to move forward from this situation. And you're, you know, with this sever vows of poverty, you're teaching yourself that there's more out there for you, right? I cannot pick this card up. With this sever vows of poverty and infinite supply, it's like you're teaching yourself that there's more out there for you. Now, I'm talking about this a lot with like the context of a relationship, but this could also be about a job, you know, maybe, or a house like that you tried to put an offer in. Maybe there's something that you thought you really, really wanted and you didn't get it, and you're heartbroken about it, you know. And this is to say that maybe there was some type of lesson that you had to go through with that experience. There was something you had to learn with that person or that situation. But ultimately, I don't think it would have fulfilled you in your heart as much as you were looking for. Because with the King of Swords in reverse, this is like I said, harsh words might have been said, or this could be very cutting energy with the mind. So this could be just like a very exhausting mental relationship. You know, if it's a house, maybe there would have been a lot of flaws with the house, you know, that you had to constantly think about and repair. And like, it would have really mentally exhausted you to be in that house, you know. If it was a job, maybe there would have been a lot of like constantly having to think about what you say and how you say it and who you say it to and all of that. And that would have just really exhausted you. And I think that, and of course, if it's a person, this could have been, you know, really like a person that was heartless and just not expressing their love, not showing their love for you, and, you know, just being so much in the mind but not of the heart, and saying things but not really, you know, as we would say, like all talk but no game, right? Like they're saying things but they're not following through with action. So it's sort of this energy of like the words versus the action. And these cups peeps over here, they come through with action, okay? They know that their motivation is around making you feel good. And part of that is because they themselves have done a lot of emotional work on themselves to, not so much this guy, more so this guy. But this guy can be a good stepping stone towards this guy if need be. So we'll just let him peek his head. Let's just let him peek his head out, you know, behind the King of Cups. So ideally, if you can manifest, you know, it's just funny. Because this is just like the way he's speaking out is like so appropriate for what this card means, and it's just cracking me up. But so ideally, you really want to manifest like this kind of person who's like emotionally committed, emotionally mature, emotionally shows up for you, right? But it depends on where you're at and what your needs are. Sometimes there's a time and a place for the Knight of Cups, okay? I'm just giggling because one pick a card reader that I really love, she talks about how this is her F-boy card. You know, that's how she refers to this card. So for those of you that can figure out what that means, take it or leave it. But so I think, you know, yeah, I commit to change and follow your heart. It's saying that yes, you were very hurt, you were very wronged in this situation, and it's time for you to now move forward and to really work on manifesting someone that's going to bring in more of this emotionally supportive, emotionally loving energy. You know, the reason why these are cups is because it's a vessel that can hold the water, right? So someone that can hold their emotions somewhat, but not in a way that's like this, where they are emotionless and cold, you know, and they don't put forward that emotional maturity and emotional thoughtfulness and love to you, right? You want someone that can actually provide that emotional maturity and that emotional energy for you, and they can hold the energy. They can at times even hold your emotional energy. They're not there to do it for you, but they're able to kind of hold that space when you do have those emotions come up, and they're able to be mature with you about it because they themselves have gone through that work and established their own level of emotional maturity. This could also be too that maybe you spend a lot of time manifesting, and I am kind of going down a bit more of the love track with this, but maybe you spend a lot of time manifesting air individuals, okay? So, or heavily kind of like controlling or like hypermasculine air type individuals. This might be a nudge that maybe you need to explore people with more watery energy. Maybe that's more supportive for you, okay? I'm gonna pull another card here for you guys. Huh. Okay. Ooh. All right, so we've got yes, Ganesha. So I am interpreting this to be, now if you were thinking of a question, you know, there could be something to that, literally it being answered right there. But Ganesha is about being the remover of obstacles. Okay, so I don't think if you were thinking like, should I do this or that, and you know it's like not really good for you, I think this is more so to say, yes, obstacles are being removed relating to this person or situation, because I pulled another one and we got focus upon your strengths, Apollo, which is this really strong fire energy, this really strong divine masculine energy. So I think you need to focus on your ability to be strong and to persevere in overcoming this situation, person, place, or thing, because you also got I commit to change. So this is saying like, believe in yourself that you're moving on from this, that you have moved on from this, you know, believe in yourself that yes, you're strong enough to overcome whatever the situation is. You're stronger to manifest something bigger and better, okay? Sorry, just like, you are strong enough, you're being supported to manifest better opportunities, better people for you. Right now though, you know, let's get one more card because you guys have like some heavy energy here. What do I want to do? Let's do this one. One more card for this pile, please. The Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Okay, so you might even want to screenshot that. This is the energy that you want to feel. This is the energy that you want to move into. This is the energy that you want to feel when you're with that new person, new situation, new place or thing. You want to feel this good, you know? You want to feel like you're in flow, right? This beautiful kind of divine feminine energy with the energy of, you know, roses and just soft pinks and kind of flowing shapes and flowing kind of spirals and colors. So this is about you learning how to embrace the inner strength that you have, how strong you are to have overcome this situation, and really just allowing yourself to nourish that heart chakra and believe in yourself, to follow your heart, to follow what feels good, what feels opening for you, what feels expansive for you, and also just really nourish your heart chakra right now. So look into getting some heart chakra crystals, work with heart chakra oils. I know for me, I really, really love geranium essential oil, and I also do, even though liang liang is a little bit more of a solar plexus chakra crystal for me, I do also pair it with geranium essential oil, especially with, you know, women's cycles and things like that. So you might even want to look into like essential oils that you can work with. In terms of crystals, I'm not going to go too much into that because I do have that self-love reading for sale, and I will give you customized crystal recommendations in that reading. So you guys that pick this pile, you would be good candidates for checking that reading out. But of course, rose quartz is a good one. You know, I'm looking at my pink amethyst over there. There are so many heart chakra crystals I can talk about. And for some reason, I am feeling called to not go into all of them right now. So I'm going to just trust that. It might be because if I start listing them off, some of you out there will be like, oh my gosh, I have to get them all. And I think that that's not necessarily true. It might be that you also have to figure out in your heart what's true for you. So maybe what's true for you right now to get into this energy is buying yourself pink roses, or you know, wearing like a pink outfit, or just tapping into this energy of like softness and femininity and just embracing that beautiful kind of divine feminine, beautiful energy here. So you guys had a really powerful reading. This is intense, kind of heavy energy. So be gentle and kind with yourself as you're going through this transition. But I see you guys absolutely making this transition, because with I commit to change and you know, all of the energy that was in this pile, it's just really acknowledging kind of where you've come from and where you can go to. With this infinite supply, there's tremendous potential for you here to move into new, bigger and better things for you that are heart aligned, that are emotionally supportive to you, you know, so, and you will get there. So sending you so much fairy kisses and loves, pile 3 peeps. And please like this video, subscribe to this channel. Please leave a comment down below if this was the pile you picked and how you resonated with it. People that leave comments, positive comments, they make me so happy, because I love to see how people are responding to the piles. It's so amazing to see how, you know, I channel the reading, and of course I can relate to certain piles for myself, but we could have 10 people watch the same pile and everybody could pick different vibrations, different frequencies out of it that they resonate with. So I love seeing that. And it's also wonderful to see people also witness each other, you know, in the comments. It can be a supportive thing. So please leave a comment if that resonated. And of course, I do accept donations. You're welcome to drop a donation to my PayPal that's in the description box. And of course, I do private readings I do angel card readings. I combine tarot in my angel card readings, and I also do astrology. And you can find out more about that on my website, juliannefey.com, or on my Etsy shop. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say for this pick a card video. So please enjoy this new moon in Aquarius cycle that we're in for the next 2 weeks. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I'll talk to you all soon.